back to another episode with Boss Beauty. My name is Olateji Bello if you're new, and if you've been coming all along, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Yes, on today's episode, I'm going to be showing you something a bit different. Yes, I did a review about the IL MAKIAGE foundation some time ago, about 4 or 5 months ago now. And I had so many questions from that video, and I've actually got lots of views on that video. So I thought, okay, because you people are actually interested in finding out how I got the perfect match for myself, I'm going to share it with you guys. So 4 months down the line, or 5 months down the line, what I did was I took the IL MAKIAGE survey again. So when you actually go on the IL MAKIAGE website for the first time, it asks you some quiz, some survey kind of questions about your skin, so that from that answer that you give, it helps to actually give you the right skin tone from you. I've actually heard from some people that, with Lancome or some other brands, that if you want to get your foundation match, it asks you to upload a picture of yourself and then it gives you a match. With some people it's worked, with some people it's not worked. Obviously with, our kind of skin, black skin, it can be a bit difficult actually choosing the right foundation for you, because apart from the fact that you're dark skin, which we would refer to as a bronze skin, our tone itself is actually what matters the most. And what happens is with our skin, because if we don't know the tone, it gives us the wrong foundation match. Even if the foundation is the right color for you, if the tone is not the right tone for you, at some point the foundation would not work with you anymore. So for example, if you took a foundation that is the right shade, but you are orange tone, and then the foundation is yellow tone, it would look light. And then if you took exactly the same shade again, but in the orange tone, but your yellow tone, it will look dark. So that's the way it is. So if you don't get your tone right, your tone is you deciding if you've got yellow tone, if you've got neutral tone, if you've got warm tones, if you got orange, this kind of things. Or some people actually have the gray tone and things like that. So if you don't know the right tone for you, it doesn't work. And that's why when you're doing the orange correcting, which is why I don't do that, if you don't know the right tone and you just use orange, you will see that no matter how much foundation you put on it, you can still see the reflection if you've used the wrong tone to correct any blemishes. So I decided, right, I'm going to show you guys, make it easy for you guys, as to how I got the right shade for myself. I've got some people that have actually tried it, took the survey, and they've been able to get a match for themselves, but it can be confusing if you don't know the right answer to the questions. So what I did is I recorded, me answering the question again 4 months after my first foundation shade, my match, just to see if it's still going to remain the same match, or if it's going to change, or what it would be, or even if I actually know the answers to the questions properly. And to my surprise, I was shocked that the match that he gave me this time was exactly the match that he gave me the first time around when I did it 5 months ago. And that is the foundation. I must say that is the foundation that I've been using all this while. I'm looking, where did I put the foundation now? I must say this is, so it was a 210 that he gave me that time, and that is what I've been using all this while. All these videos that you've seen, I've been using my IL MAKIAGE foundation. When it actually brought up the the picture on my page when I did the questions, at first I was like, it looks dark, but then looking at the tone, it matches my skin tone if you compare it to my neck. And when you're choosing foundation, guys, you don't want something that would just blend with your face. You want something that blends with your neck. And trust me, anything that blends with your neck, it usually will match your body. Yes, because what you find out is that sometimes our neck is lighter or darker than our face. So obviously when you put in foundation, because you've chosen the wrong one, that's why we tend to put foundation on our neck. And then doing that, it would ruin some expensive clothes that you have, which you don't want, So it's better to just find a shade that matches your neck. Sometime last year, I'm going to use that word again so that you guys can remember. I concocted some foundation, I mixed some foundations together just so I can get one that matches my skin exactly. Which at the end of the day, when I did it, I got one, it's not like I got one shade, but I was able to mix, I think it was about 6 or 7 foundations that I mixed, and that one matched my skin. My skin was glowing. All the makeup that I did at that time, I knew that yes, this was the right foundation. So, but I wanted, obviously that amount that I mixed there was a very tiny amount, so I knew it wasn't going to last me forever. So I wanted something that I could buy that would actually give me that one shade that I want. So this gave me that, and this is in shade 210. It gave me a concealer match, which I don't know why, but I really use that concealer. Maybe because I've got different concealers and I was not really interested in concealer. I was really interested in the foundation. So I've used the concealer a few times. It's been okay, but I just don't use it as much as I use the foundation. And another thing that I found out with the foundation is that no matter the kind of primer that I use, it works with it. If I use my Becca, which is like the matte foundation primer, if I use that, this foundation stays. If I use it with the Milk Grip Hydro Grip primer, it works with it. If I use it on my bare skin, like right now on my skin, I've just got my coconut and shea butter mix that I use on my face. That's what I've got on now. And I've noticed that even if I just put the foundation straight on that skin, it works. Like every foundation primer that I've used with this foundation, it just works. Like it just stays on. So when I was completing the form, I realized that even when I was filling the form, even though I said that my skin was dry, I was married to my moisturizer, when it asked me the kind of finish that I wanted, I said that I wanted like a velvety, you know, oil control kind of finish. I didn't choose the mattifying finish because I know that my skin can be very dry sometimes, so I didn't want something that would dry it out, like the Huda Beauty foundation. That is a really dry foundation, so I wanted something that would still hydrate my skin and at the same time it would last. The only thing I would say that I've not done with this foundation is that I've not used it and gone out for 24 hours, for 12 hours, which I normally do. So as a makeup artist that I am, normally when I go out, there are days that I actually go out from 9 till 9, like 24 hours straight, yes, when I'm doing makeup. So I've not used this foundation in that kind of situation before. So I won't be able to tell you that, okay, this is a 12-hour test. No, I've used it all day at home, but the maximum I've carried it at home is 7 hours, 8 hours, which the last time I did a review on it, I carried it for 7 hours. So I've carried it maximum 8 hours is what I've done with it. So 8 hours really, and the foundation is still there. It stays, you know, matte, not matte, but not oily. It's just there. I like it. And every time any concealer I use with it, even if the concealer is really light for my under eye, because it's a tone that matches my skin, it just works. And then anytime I use like a darker concealer that, you know, is exactly the same shade as me, it works. So I've tried it in under different conditions, different primer, different powder, different concealers with it, and it just works. So this is a very good foundation. And you know, you guys, if you're still sleeping on it, then I don't know what you're waiting for. So I hope by the time I show you these questions and the answers that I give and the way I decided my answers, then maybe it would help you to try and find a match for yourself. And just as a bonus, I'm going to be applying this foundation again for you guys to see. At the moment, I haven't got any primer on. I've just got my coconut and shea butter mix that I normally use on my skin, which is just for me to moisturize my skin. That's what I've got on at the moment. I'm just going to go ahead and apply my foundation straight away to my skin. So here we go. Can you see that? Even though looking at it, you're probably thinking, oh, it looks a bit, you know, light. But then again, when you look at it again, it's looking like, oh, that's my tone. So I think this foundation just has, you know, I don't know, I wouldn't say magic to it, but it has a way of actually working or, you know, of blending into your skin. That is what I've noticed with this foundation. And most of the time that I've used it, I've applied it with foundation brush. So now I'm using this beauty blender from Evita Joseph. Can you see how it just blends? Like, look at that. Like, it's just the perfect shade for me. And to actually think 4 or 5 months after this time that I bought it, I still took the same quiz again and it still gave me exactly the same shade. I am shook. Yeah, like look at that, look at that, look at the way it just, you know, looking at it, you're thinking, oh, it looks orangey on your skin. Oh, that's not your skin tone, but it is my skin tone. Look at that compared to my neck, compared to my hand. Yeah, it just, it just has a way of, you know, blending out to your skin and giving you the shade that you want. And then sometimes when you're choosing your foundation shade as well, sometimes you're not sure what to go for. It's better to have a foundation that is a bit darker than you, and then you can make it work using a concealer rather than using a foundation that is lighter, and then you thinking you're going to use a darker concealer to make it work, then obviously you are wrong or you are mistaken, because no, it's not gonna work. And then when you're choosing foundation as well, sometimes, you know, it oxidizes and all of that kind of thing. With this, even if it oxidizes, I still feel like I've never had any problems with it. Like, I haven't had any, compared to when I bought the Fenty Beauty the first time it just came out, the oxidization was so bad. Like, I couldn't even decide which shade that I wanted to go for. But with this, even when it settles, it's just like it settles to the right shade that you want it to be. That's what I've seen or that I've noticed with this foundation. Look at that. And, you know, when I was filling the form, I did say that I didn't have any concerns with hyperpigmentation or, you know, blackheads or anything like that. So you can see how it gives me the coverage, even though you wouldn't say this is full coverage, but it covers. I just wanted something that would give me a lightweight kind of finish, and this gives me that. So I'm not really bothered about, you know, adding another layer to it. But after blending it, you can see how it just looks like my skin. Like, I've not even added anything to it. If you're the kind of person that you just want something simple, you apply it and go, then yes, this is the right thing for you. Yeah. So I'm going to apply my NARS concealer. I've used NARS concealer with it. I've used Makeup Revolution concealer with it, and I've not had any problem whatsoever with this product. I've used the LA Pro concealer as well. So I'm using this NARS concealer in Amande. You can see that that is not far off my skin as well. So just really under my eye is where I put the concealer. Just something to brighten up my under eye, really. You know, if you wanted this to have like a 100%, you know, not mattifying, but you want it to stay on longer, you can apply your Fix Plus, or you can apply any of your setting spray. And I'm using my brush from Joy Adenuga. Yes, I'm using this one in 004, and I'm just going to use that to blend my concealer in. This brush is so soft, like, I just love it. I've said it before that, you know, sometimes you feel like, oh, this product is too expensive, I'm not gonna buy it. You just want to buy, you know, the affordable one or something similar. Yes, you know, you can get something cheap and it will give you the exact, you know, quality that an expensive one would give you. But sometimes when you buy expensive products, you would see the difference in what you're using it to apply, and that is what I've seen with this, you know, foundation, with this brush set from Joy Adenuga. Like, it just gives you, it's so soft, it makes blending easy. Like, you don't have to struggle. In fact, I must say I've been using it quite often compared to using Beauty Blender. On my clients, I use Beauty Blender, but on myself, I just use whichever one that is easy for me. And I've been using brushes because I just feel like, yeah, I've got it, it's easy, let's just use it. Because washing your beauty blender can be a lot of work sometimes. Yeah, so sometimes because of that, I just go with my brush, and this is so, look at that, it just blends. You see how that foundation just accepts that concealer. There's some foundation that when you actually apply some certain concealer on it, it's like they repel. It doesn't accept it at all. But this, it's not like that. I'm using this contour concealer, or contour concealer from Makeup Revolution. It's a very dark brown, so I try to use as little as possible. I don't need to do that side. And now I'm going to use this another Joy Adenuga brush in 003. I'm going to put the names above, but I can't remember the names right now, so that just helps to, I can still use the same brush, but I just feel like, yeah, I'm still going to use this brush for something else. So let's just show you how all of these brushes works. Like, they are all the same kind of feel like very soft. It makes blending easy. Can you see how that is just disappearing into your skin? And even though when I was applying that concealer, you guys are probably thinking, oh, that concealer is too dark for, you know, you to contour. You can see that it's not actually dark. And the good thing about this is it just makes your contour blending stay where it should be, like so. And then you just work your way in. So I always say when you're contouring, you just want to see the effect. You don't want to see the straight line. Can you see that? No. I'm going to use this same brush for my nose so that you guys can see. Look at that. As in, it just makes that blending easy and effortless. Do the other side as well. Like, it just stays where you want it to stay. And then I'm gonna use the brush I used for my lighter concealer to just blend again. And you can see that the lines have disappeared. So you just want the effect of what you're doing, not, you know, the ash lines from what you're doing. So just, you know, helping that to all sink in together. And now I'm going to apply my setting powder. So now I'm going to apply my setting powder with the same 004 brush. Look at that. It seriously, you guys, you need to, if you don't try this brush, it's just like exactly the same thing that we say. If you don't try a product, or if you're not in the same shoe as somebody, then don't just pretend or don't just believe that, oh, it's the same thing. Oh, the brushes are the same thing. No, they're not the same thing. Yeah. So, can you see the perfect, like the blending? Yeah. The coverage? Check. The tone match? Check. So, yeah, guys, if you haven't tried the Ilmakiage, or if you were not sure how to answer the questions, then yes, I hope this video helps you, and thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for staying. I'll see you next time in my next video. I know I didn't finish the video for you guys, and I'm sure you guys will be wondering, oh, what did you finish? What did you do with the look? If you want to see what I did with the look, then yeah, put it in the comment section and I will be sure to give it to you. If you don't ask, I'm not gonna give you. I'll see you next time in my next video. Bye. This is 8 hours of my makeup, the foundation today. I didn't use any primer when I started. If you remember, I just had my face moisturized, and I used my Fix Plus setting spray MAC and just setting powder, and yeah, this is what I have. This foundation is definitely really good. Okay, see you next time.